Juries don't like liars. Trials are about credibility.
Blake Lively is spiraling into a meltdown after Judge Lyman completely tore apart her case, denying the absurd and overreaching legal requests she made.
The judge in Blake Lively's case just slapped down their psychopathic request.
And the court said no.
Every attempt to manipulate the court has backfired, leaving her humiliated, defeated, and out of options. The Hollywood power games won't save her now.
Breaking news, Justin Baldoni just got a big win, meaning Blake Lively got a big loss.
The day the Hollywood elite illusion shattered, Blake Lively took a legal beating so humiliating that even her own lawyers looked like they wanted to disappear into the walls.
Are her lawyers dumb?
This wasn't just a court hearing, it was a full-scale public embarrassment session, with Judge Louis J. Lyman absolutely demolishing her legal team like it was a live stand-up special. And guess what? The crowd was loving it.
It's intensely personal. It's getting more personal. They're going to discover more information that's going to make them angry. They're out to salvage their reputation, so there's not going to be an easy way to walk away from this and say, okay, let's just call it a day.
Lively walked in there like she was about to deliver the final blow to Justin Baldoni, flexing her Hollywood power, her A-list connections, and whatever fantasy world she's living in where she thinks the law works in her favor just because she's famous. But instead, she got legally body slammed so hard that even Ryan Reynolds knew better than to show up for the disaster.
You are not able to hold a logical thought, but guess what? I, as a judge, I am able to hold a logical thought, so we're going to slap that down. You obviously cannot do that.
Oh, and speaking of humiliation, the judge didn't just reject her absurd legal demands. He played the leaked audio in open court. Yes, the same recording she and Ryan Reynolds have been desperately trying to bury, the one they thought they could erase from existence using their Hollywood strings.
And, so I think there could be some argument about whether it was leaked and shouldn't have been leaked and should they have the information or what it may be. But no matter what happens, this is a damning.
Blake's whole case fell apart in real time, her credibility going up in flames, and the best part, she couldn't do a damn thing about it. Baldoni, on the other hand, secured a major legal win, standing tall while Blake's entire reputation crumbled into dust. No PR spin, no TMZ leaks to save her, no celebrity besties rushing to defend her, just cold, hard reality smashing her in the face.
It is so clear Blake's case is falling apart. She's destroying her credit. Ryan Reynolds, too.
Now let's talk about just how comically insane her legal requests were, because the delusion was off the charts. Lively actually had the audacity to walk into that courtroom and demand 2.5 years of Baldoni's phone records, text messages, emails, location data, and even doctor visits.
The judge in Blake Lively's case just slapped down their psychopathic request for 2.5 years worth of every message that Justin Baldoni and Justin Heath and the PR agents have ever sent to everybody, plus location data. We knew that was going to happen.
Yes, you read that right. She basically tried to turn a Hollywood lawsuit into a full-scale FBI surveillance operation, like she's starring in some kind of spy thriller instead of a courtroom drama. What the hell was she expecting to find? His Uber Eats receipts from 2022. His Amazon purchases from 3 Christmases ago. A random doctor's note saying, Mr. Baldoni had a headache today.
We have to distinguish between the two, what a standard court protective order is and what Blake Lively's team is asking for, which is an attorney's eyes only designation.
The judge wasn't having any of her nonsense. He glanced at the absurd, overreaching subpoena and shut it down so quickly, you could practically hear the air escaping from Blake's ego. His words, overly intrusive and disproportionate. Translation, Blake, are you out of your mind? Let's get real.
Blake Lively obtained all of these text messages through subpoena. Okay, what's subpoena? You can only issue a subpoena if you have an open legal case. So you have to have a valid legal case. I can't just issue a subpoena to, the New York Times.
Lively filed this lawsuit back in December 2014, yet somehow she believes she's entitled to Baldwin's personal data dating back to 2022. The math isn't adding up, the logic isn't lining up, and Judge Lyman tore into her in the harshest way possible. This isn't the FBI. You don't get to track someone's every move. Boom. That right there. The moment her entire case crashed and burned.
She wants different rules for her than she wants for Baldoni and his team. which I don't think the judge will agree with.
This isn't some Hollywood movie where she gets to write the script. This is real life, real court, and real legal consequences. Blake was out here trying to rewrite the legal system like she was the main character, but the judge just slammed her with a brutal reality check. And now, the best part of this train wreck, the actual courtroom meltdown. Oh, you know there was one. Witnesses inside the courtroom reported that Blake physically tensed up, started whispering furiously to her legal team, and was visibly shaking as the judge tore apart her case in real time. Imagine walking into court so confident, thinking you've got it in the bag, only to end up looking like a deer in headlights as the judge obliterates your entire legal strategy.
So it kind of makes them look like they're trying to take that video now that it's out and kind of spin it in a different direction.
And where was Ryan Reynolds? Nowhere to be found. The same guy who's always tweeting dumb jokes and creating viral moments suddenly turned into Casper, the friendly ghost, the second things got serious. Oh, he can crack jokes on Twitter all day, but when it comes to defending his wife while she's making a fool of herself in court, not a word. He knew exactly what was coming and chose to sit this disaster out.
They weren't the first to do this. It was Blake Lively, it was Ryan Reynolds, this was their strategy, and now they kind of want to put the genie back in the bottle. But guess what? The genie does not want to go back in the bottle. The genie likes to be free. Okay?
And let's talk about her lawyers, because at this point, even they had to realize they were defending the legal equivalent of a dumpster fire. They stood there, watching the judge eviscerate their entire argument, probably questioning every life decision that led them to this moment. You just know, deep down in their heads they were thinking, why did we take this case? How did we end up here?
Your lawyers are stupid. It's like he's like being nicer. He's like, your lawyers are really stupid.
And then in the most desperate attempt to save face, Blake and her team tried to spin this humiliating loss as a win. Oh, because of course they did. This is Hollywood, where losing is winning, failure is success. And somehow Blake thinks she can gaslight the entire world into believing this wasn't a total disaster. Except,
It just blows my mind how dumb Blake Lively's team is, and how just, I guess, egocentric, maniacal that she thinks that she can tell the world, you didn't see what you actually saw with your eyes. It's insane.
because this isn't just a legal loss, this is public shaming at its finest. This is Blake Lively's credibility going up in flames in real time. This is a courtroom meltdown so massive, so ridiculous that it's now officially going public.
This is the audio Blake and Ryan's agent seemingly didn't want you to hear.
I wonder if you could tell us about a little bit Matt that I guess you've been involved in. I mean, I know where you're going with this. Do you have notes on it? Like, those are the two things I took myself.
Just when you thought things couldn't get worse for her, the judge authorizes a live audio feed of the next hearing. That's right, no more PR spin, no more Hollywood protection, no more carefully crafted TMZ leaks. The world gets front row seats to the absolute legal chaos that is Blake Lively's case. And trust me, it's going to be glorious.
It seems insurmountable. It seems like this case cannot be settled.
A live audio feed means everyone will hear it for themselves. No more sources close to Blake spinning some nonsense narrative. No, we're getting unfiltered, uncut, raw courtroom reality. Blake thought she could waltz into court, demand insane subpoenas, and rewrite the legal system in her favor. Instead, she walked out with the single most humiliating legal loss of her career. And honestly, she deserves every second of it.
I mean, is it not a little hypocritical? Is this bad look of her if she's trying to tell the courts that we should stop talking about this in public?
The judge just did the one thing Blake Lively feared the most. He authorized an audio feed of the next hearing. That's right, Blake's courtroom stupidity is about to be broadcast for the world to hear in real time.
So he fired him. I'm a ride or die. That's why he did it. Because he basically said, okay, fine, yeah, Ryan and Blake, I'm going to go with you. So you did that. You destroyed this man's life rather than wait.
No more TMZ leaks, no more carefully curated PR stunts, no more sources close to Blake spinning nonsense to make her look like a victim. Now, everyone gets to listen to exactly how embarrassing this case is with their own ears. The sheer panic Blake must be feeling right now, priceless.
Blake says she's so glad they did. But now she wants all other footage to not come forward. And we're supposed to be like, yeah, you go, girl.
She walked into this thinking she could manipulate the narrative, play the innocent Hollywood princess, and control the information that reaches the public. Instead, she lost complete control over everything. And the best part, she knows she's cooked. That's why she fought so hard to keep this thing buried. That's why she begged the court for an extreme protective order, hoping she could keep her lies, her overreach, and her nonsense hidden. And now it's all going public.
The judge makes a point of like, well, then why do you need 2 years worth? In her own suit, she alleges this campaign started in August. So why the reach for 2.5 years? Was nice to see the judge really sort of acknowledge that. Here, this is the part I'm looking.
No more backroom Hollywood deals to suppress evidence. No more Ryan Reynolds scrambling to call in favors from his A-list friends to clean up this mess. No more Blake Lively pretending she's the victim while launching one of the most aggressive smear campaigns in Hollywood history.
Recent filing, we can now see that Ryan was panicked in general.
Because let's be real, she has never wanted justice. She wanted power. She wanted to weaponize the courts to destroy Belden's life. And now, as she's getting exposed in real time, the meltdown is about to be spectacular. Oh, and speaking of getting exposed, let's talk about the leaked audio that completely torched Blake and Ryan Reynolds' entire "we're innocent" act.
This dispute, these words that were said by Lively side had a clear, immediate negative impact on Belden's.
This wasn't just any recording. This was a full-blown Hollywood scandal bombshell. March 2025, and we in a recording of Ari Emanuel, the CEO of WME, one of the most powerful agencies in Hollywood, flat out admitting that Baldomi was blacklisted because of Blake and Ryan. Not only did these two personally orchestrate the destruction of his career, but the way Emanuel talked about it, like it was nothing.
But what I think we're seeing now with this quote is WME absolutely got rid of him because of these things that were said. And so now he's got clear line in damage support.
He didn't even have the basic human decency to call Baldoni by his actual name. He called him Balone. Let that sink in.
That situation that belong you don't know whatever his name is,
It's an effed up situation. Whatever, Baldoni, whatever his name is doing. Whatever, he's your client. What a scumbag you are.
Imagine getting blacklisted by the most powerful agent in Hollywood, and not only does he fire you over some Hollywood power couple's petty revenge plot, but he also mocks you behind your back like some high school bully.
Their psychopathic request.
Got a lot of people who are even a lot less powerful than Ari Emanuel who would have the power to do that. So that doesn't